9. The heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Only I, Yahweh, who try the reins, and I try the heart. Only Yahweh can know our heart. We may not think we're being hateful, but only Yahweh can know our heart. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. So then, descending into hatred is not an option. Most of us that have been offended are in what stage? Matthew 24:10. Most of us that feel offended, rightly or wrongly, perceived or in reality, are in what stage? Most of you will never apply this because I know the enemy works. He doesn't want me to apply it either. Amen? You will either go back to stage 1 and reign over the offense and not allow it to pull you out of the land of shalom and be planted and not be moved, or you will descend into either aggressive or passive hatred. Matthew 12. I'm going to go to 5 o'clock, so don't look at your clock, okay? My back is hurting. I can do it. Your stomach can do it also. Matthew 26:33. I got to go take care of my sick father-in-law in the hospital. So I don't know how long I'm going to be in the Moed Hall, but I want to be with you now, so hang. Matthew 26:33. Matthew 26:33. Shimon Kepha, Peter answered and said to Yeshua, "Hey, Yah, though all men shall be offended because of you, I will never be offended." Does that sound like some of us? Well, Alberto may have a problem with being offended, but I don't get that offended that easily. Oh, come on, I'm a super saint. Come on now. I mean, Marcel gets offended, you know, but I don't get offended. That's deception, self-deception. Kepha thought everybody was capable of being offended, except him. Look at this. That's right. Look at verse 33. But I will never be offended because of you, my master. Yeshua said, "Really, Kepha? You'll never be offended? Try this one on for size. You don't have to wait a month or a year. Tonight, or tomorrow morning, before that rooster crows 3 times, you will deny that you even know me." Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Brothers and sisters, all of us are capable of causing and committing offenses that are just as bad as denying Yeshua, overreacting to situations. Write that down. Stop overreacting. Yahaloma had 200 pieces of music, and everyone is proclaimed, and one person didn't like one cut, and that's it, she's gone. She will never return to that congregation. She'll never speak to that person again. She'll never call, because that's it. If they don't appreciate me, I'll go somewhere else where they do appreciate me. Sound familiar? And it's going to happen to you. Question is, how will you react when it happens to you? It's going to happen. Where? Right here. Right in your family. All of us want to be appreciated, right? Well, you know what? They just ignore me there. If I go to another congregation, at least somebody will see me. I don't know what it is. They just ignore me. Well, it may have something to do with the fact that you're very inconsistent. And guess what? The Word of Yahweh says that a man's gifts or a woman's gifts will eventually make room for that woman or person if they don't get easily shaken. People that get easily offended and easily shaken, read my lips if you remember, nothing else I share with you, are not ready for ministry. If you had to ask me, after 20 years in ministry, what is the #1 characteristic of someone who can succeed as a shepherd, not as an evangelist? They're hit and run. Here today, gone tomorrow. in a congregational setting, it is not being offended. If you're not easily offended, if you're not easily shaken, you will be a great success as a shepherd, a rabbi, or as a pastor. You've got to conquer this thing. Because many of you have voices that have never been tapped for Yahweh. Many of you have technical abilities to build messianic radio stations and television stations that have never been tapped for Yahweh. You've got to get a hold. Your wife's not the problem. Your brother's not the problem. You've got to get a hold of the issue that every one of us has. Because we love Yeshua, we're oversensitive. And charlatans play on that oversensitivity. That's why on TV, you always have pictures of starving children where they want to build their wife a new bathtub. When they want to build their wife a new hot tub, they put a child foaming at the mouth with bloated belly. Because they play on your emotion. We're emotional people.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
And that's exactly how Satan tried to get to Yeshua. With pride, tempting him with title. You know, the actual Aramaic is different. It doesn't say, you know, in Matthew 4 and Luke 4, if you are the Son of Yahweh, command that these stones be turned to... No, it doesn't say that. In the actual Aramaic, it says that Satan knew who he was. Since you are the Son of Yahweh, since you are the Son of Yahweh, jump. Since you are the Son of Yahweh, worship me. Since you are not me, he was tempting him with emotion. He was tempting him with pride. The emotion of the human being, the soulish realm, is so strong that it'll take a young man or a young woman, and in exchange for a 5-minute orgasm, they will have a 5-minute orgasm with another human being, and they will die at the age of 23 from sexually transmitted diseases because they could not deny that emotion that took them on a 5-minute joyride. Be careful. Your emotion will determine whether you succeed or are disqualified in the ministry. Your emotion, ruling your spirit, ruling over your spirit, will determine how far you go in the ministry and serving Yahweh. All of us are capable of causing and committing offenses. All of us are capable of being offended, overreacting, reacting in a destructive manner that destroys our shalom and brings hurts to others. Don't ever think that others can cause offenses, but you don't, or you can't. Be sober about your own issues, darling. It actually says it on the paper. Be sober about your own issues, darling. I'll let you deal with Rabbi Moshe's issues and Mordechai's issues and Bruno's issues once you finish dealing with yours. Here's the bad news. You'll never finish dealing with yours. It'll take a lifetime. So leave me alone, and leave Bruno alone, and leave Mordechai alone. Be sober about your own issues. Denying others forgiveness for their offenses, both real and perceived, denies the finished work of Yeshua, who has forgiven them already. I'll say it again. Denying others forgiveness for their offenses, real or perceived, denies the finished work of Yeshua, who has forgiven them already. Are you with me? Yochanan Moshe 6:3. Is anyone enjoying? Yochanan Moshe 6:3. These are the folks in Nazareth. Yochanan Moshe 6:3. These are the folks in the city of Nazareth. Mark 6:3. Is not this the carpenter, the son of Miriam, the brother of Yaakov and Yosef and Yehuda and Shimon? Are not all his sisters here with us? And they were what? Offended by him. I'll read that again. His sisters, his brothers, and all the people of Nazareth were offended by what? By the fact that one of their own would have the audacity to claim to be the son of Yahweh. They were offended. So when these folks got offended, what happened? Did they trust Yeshua? Huh? Did they believe in Yeshua? Being offended or receiving an offense will stop Yahweh's will and Yahweh's love in your life. It will disqualify you even though you belong to Yeshua's family. You missed that. Give me more monitor, Marcel. I want to hear myself talk. His brothers and sisters were offended at him. When you allow an offense to paralyze you, you cannot walk in trust, you cannot walk in faith, you cannot walk in belief, even though you are in Yeshua's family. Were his brothers and sisters in his family? Meaning there are people in our believing family, Bruno, who, because they have allowed someone or something to offend them, have lost trust, have lost faith, have lost belief in what Yahweh has called them to do, even though they are in Yeshua's family. Does any of this make sense? Am I boring you? Were his brothers and sisters in his family? But they lost faith. They lost trust. They lost belief, right? If you do not reign over the offense, you will find your faith, your trust, and your belief. Forget about in Mordechai or in Janet. In Yeshua is going to be fleeting and flying away. You listen to what I'm telling you. If you don't reign over the offenses brought to you by your brothers, and I don't care how the world deals with it. The world deals with it with a .22 caliber or a Saturday night special. I don't care how the world deals with it. If we don't learn to prepare and overcome the offense, we will lose faith and trust in Yeshua because we will project the offense of Yeshua's children upon the Master himself. Am I right out there? That's called projection. In other words, if Yeshua loves me, why did he allow her to offend me like that? If Yeshua cares for me, why didn't he just stop her? Be careful. Offense can stop our trust and our belief in the living Master himself, in Yahweh's will and love in our life. It can disqualify us from his service, even though we are born again into his family. Yochanan Moshe 14:27. Yochanan Moshe, again this message, crossing the raging Yarden. Crossing the raging Yarden. Yochanan Moshe, Mark 14:27. Israel, escúchame, if you have run with the footmen and they have wearied you, how will you contend with the horses? If in the land of Shalom in which you trust, they have wearied you in the very land of Shalom, how will you manage to cross the raging Yarden? Are you with me, Lloyd? The offenses in the land of Shalom are a test to see if you are one of those 300 that can defeat the end-time Midianites. All of Israel was taken to the water. And when it was time to find the fighting force that would come against Midian, Yahweh said, now let's see who's ready for battle, and now let's see who's not ready. And all the people of Israel got on all fours, and like uno pelo caliente. I know I'm crazy, just go with the flow, right? Just roll now. See, I knew I was going to be a little crazy today. That's why I wore my t-shirt, because I didn't want to be getting confused with a religious professional. Because professionals don't act this way. Yahweh said, get rid of them. It is the 300 who did this. Who went into the water. Right? They cut. Their eyes, their ears were sharp. And everybody else in Israel was laughed over. You get it? How many of us are called to drink of the Mayim Chayim. And in the process of drinking the Mayim Chayim, we drink on all fours like a dog. And then, when somebody offends us, we're shocked. I never expected it from her. I never expected Cynthia to do that. Daryl, yes. Moshe, yes. I never expected that from, and we get blindsided because we're on all fours drinking the goodness of Mayim Chayim, and when the offense comes, we are not prepared for the offense. We have no plan. Listen, if you get nothing else, if just don't let this message change your life. Prepare to be offended. Are you prepared for battle? If you're prepared for battle, prepare to be offended, because some of those battles will be from the enemy, and some of them will be from within the camp.
Amen. Amen.
It would be easy if all the attacks were from Islam, because our guard would be up. But when we get easily offended within the camp, we're not always ready. We're on all fours drinking Mayim Chayim. And Yeshua said, be alert, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the enemy, like a roaring lion, walketh around, seeking whom he may devour. And Yeshua said to them, Yochanan Moshe 14:27. All you shall be offended. Notice, all 12. This is quoted in Yochanan 13. All you shall be offended because of me. How many disciples were offended because of Yeshua? Huh? So let me ask you this. If all 12 Talmidim were offended because of Yeshua, how many could be offended because of someone else that's not Yeshua? Hundreds, thousands. All you shall be offended, including Peter, who said, I will never be offended. This night, not just all of you in one night. All you will be offended in one night. For it is written. You know why one night? Most offenses just done once stay with us forever. Shame on us. That's why all of them were offended in one night. Because most offenses done once were so sensitive, it never leaves us, and everybody gets offended. Brothers and sisters, all will at one time be offended in the camp of Yeshua. All these little petty disputes within the camp will affect not only the camp and the operation of the kingdom's goals, vision, and purpose, but will ultimately hurt our shepherd, Yeshua, and the under-shepherds who serve under him. Did you get that? Let's read it again. All of you will be offended because of me. Notice, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. Now you can say, well, when Yeshua died, all the sheep were scattered. That's one application, right? But here's another application. When we offend one another and we're not equipped to overcome the offenses, and we become spiritual, what's the word I'm looking for? Spiritually paralyzed, or spiritual palsies, because we're not ready for the offenses, and when they come we have no coping skills and no mechanism how to handle the offenses, we are smiting the shepherd, Yeshua. When Yeshua sees people in the camp that are offending each other, and then the offense cements into betrayal, and the betrayal cements into hatred, no one's there to stop it. No one knows how to stop it. No one is able to cope with it. It's very easy to stop. You go back to the point of contact. You cut the tapes, all those tapes in your head and your heart. You go back to the person who offended you and deal with it and say, you know, I'm prepared. Yeshua told me offenses would come from unlikely places. You did offend me, but I immediately forgive you, and I release you. We are echad. No one can tear us apart. But if we don't do that, it becomes betrayal. Now watch out. If you're in stage 2, you're going to be in stage 3 of hatred. Matthew 24. And what stage are you in tonight? When we don't know how to deal with offenses when they come, the shepherd, Yeshua, is smitten in heart. In the remez, in the Pashat, he goes to the cross and the sheep are scattered. Pardon me, tree. He goes to the tree. You feel better? But when we don't know and don't have coping skills to overcome the offenses among each other, we smite the shepherd. He showed us how to overcome the offenses. As the offenses reigned through Adam, the offenses were reversed through the second Adam. How? We have the cup of temptation, we have this world, our brothers and sisters, and here's the thing. Most offenses, now get this in your spirit, most offenses do not come from the local imam or the local ayatollah. I wish it was, because it would be easy to pick that up. Most offenses come from that dude sitting right next to you and from the brother in the Moed Hall who's breaking bread with you. That's where most, because you're vulnerable. We walk in love and openness and transparency in front of those people, so we're vulnerable. All the offenses and all those who succumb to the offenses hurt the camp. They hurt the operation of the kingdom's goals, the kingdom's vision, the kingdom's purpose, but ultimately hurts the shepherd, Yeshua, and the under-shepherds who serve under him. I'm going to close with a couple of things. And we'll pick it up next week. As an under-shepherd, what is an under-shepherd? Someone who serves under Yeshua. I need all my troops. And I know that what the enemy does, he takes each other to put each other out of commission. So that Mordechai doesn't talk to this one, Brit doesn't talk to this one, Daryl doesn't talk to this one. So how can we be in the trenches with each other when we're not even talking to each other? Talking is a prerequisite to being in the trenches. It's the enemy within. Don't worry about Islam. We will overcome Islam with the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Don't worry about the Akel Karza. Worry about your hard carcass right here. Guard yourself with all diligence, for out of the heart proceed the issues of life and death. You really want to get this thing right, and I'll talk more about this next week. You want to learn how to overcome any offense, anytime? Pray for offenses to come. I'll talk more about this next week. It'll be more solution-oriented. Now, who in their right mind would pray for offenses? That's part of your training to see how much progress you've made and how much progress you still have to make in the kingdom. Because if an offense comes and I get all discombobulated and I start, instead of singing Kadosh, Kadosh, and I start singing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though this, I'm confused, because with offenses comes confusion. So the offenses come to show you that you thought you were ready to lead the ladies' meeting, but you're a baby in diapers. Clean yourself up. That's why they come. And that's why we ought to pray for offenses to become, because Yeshua said they're going to come anyway. So if I start seeing offenses as training, as examinations, do I get easily offended? Yes. Now, a year later, the same person does the same thing and brings the same offense, and now I'm not that easily offended anymore. Well, hey, hey, hey. I may be ready to preach to the Ayatollah and to the horsemen, because I'm in the land of Shalom. I've conquered my Ruach. In the land of Shalom, I've conquered my emotions. It's not your wife with a machete that's going to get you. It's your own emotions. I hate emotions. I do. I hate emotions. Because emotions will deceive you. They will put mirages in your life, and a mirage is not real. It only looks real. You are the only creature on planet Earth, Bruno, that has the ability through the Ruach HaKodesh to rule.